Hi everybody. Today is a special day for me and my husband. Today we have been married for 6 months exactly. We were married August 7th, 2010 at 1:30 p.m. and now it is February 7th, 2011 at 2:10 p.m. So this video is not a pregnancy vlog, but since it's a personal blog, I figured what the hey, this is a tribute to my husband, and so I'm just going to tell a little bit about him. His name is Nick, and uh, we've been together, like we've been dating and engaged and married for a total of just about a year. Um, I'll tell you our story. We were in the same ward in college. I think I told you that already. But we were in the same ward, and uh, I was in charge of doing a party for Valentine's Day, and so I decided to do um, a Valentine's dinner, like a kind of formal one. And so we had chicken cordon bleu, baked potatoes, salad, rolls, a dessert of some sort, something like that. But anyway, and I decided it would be fun to have a dating panel. So I did a dating panel, and so we had a couple who's been married um, for a really long time. Like I think they're like 40 years into their marriage, and then we had a return missionary, like LDS mission um, couple, and they weren't married yet, and they weren't engaged, but like we all knew that they would get married, and they actually did get married a little after us. Um, and then we had Nick and and we represented the single people, and because at the time we were both single, and then we had a couple that hasn't served their mission yet, but they were dating pretty serious. So those were the four couples, and somebody at the dating panel they asked the question, "How's your love life?" And I was just like, "I'm single," and then Nick went and he said that he was single too. And our bishop was like, "Well, you two should date." And I'm a very sarcastic person and I love joking around. But anyway, sarcastically, I said, "Well, we have been talking quite serious about it for some time." And Nick immediately turned bright red. He was so embarrassed because we had never talked about him and I dating. Like, we, um, we talked a lot, but never about dating each other at least. And so Nick was really embarrassed, and I thought that was kind of cute. And that was February 8th of last year, 2010. And let's see, February 16th, he came over, so that's a Tuesday. He came over and um, he was just talking about tons of stuff, things that were on his mind. And he said that he decided to give up on dating. And I was like, well, as long as you know it's a commitment to get married eventually, I guess I'm fine with that. And he was like, yeah, I know. And um, that night we ended up deciding that we wanted to date each other. And um, let's see. Uh, so we had our first kiss that night, and the song that was going through my head, I always have songs going through my head, just so you know. Anyway, the song that was going through my head was a country song. I like country, by the way. But anyway, it was a country song from Darius Rucker, I believe. I'll put a link over here somewhere. But it was from Darius Rucker, and it's called History in the Making. And there's a line in it that says, maybe this could be our last first kiss. And that line just kept going over and over in my mind while we were kissing. And I was thinking, oh, that's kind of cute, but probably not, you know? And um, it was our last first kiss. And I'm so grateful for it. I love Nick so much. He's the world to me. That's all there is to it. I Yeah, I love him. The end of that. Um, let's see. So that was Tuesday the 16th. And then on Sunday, I don't know the exact date, but on Sunday, we were talking and he was like, we should pretend to be engaged. And I was thinking, oh, that'd be so funny. We'll put it on Facebook and we'll just fool everybody. And so we went to the Manti Temple, which was 7 miles away, and um, we just took a bunch of pictures of us being engaged. And then that the whole, or I went home that night to my apartment, and I was telling my roommates and my friends, guess what? I'm engaged. And they're like, no way, you haven't even known him that long, and you don't even know his shoe size. And I was like, I don't care if I know his shoe size or not. I love him. That's all there is to it. And they're like, oh, no, you can't be engaged. And I was like, yeah, I am. And then um, the next day, like for classes and stuff, we were telling people we were engaged. And then let's see, his sister went to college with us, like to the same college, and she found out that we were engaged, and she was really, really upset about that. And so he texts me like at 11 at night, that night on Monday, and he said um, that his sister knew that we were engaged. And so I called him to see if everything was okay, and he said that he needed to talk and that he'd come pick me up. And so I was kind of freaking out. Um, I was really afraid that he was going to break up with me. And I told my roommates, and I was kind of panicking, and I was saying, he's going to break up with me, I just know it. And they were saying, don't worry about it. You haven't even been dating that long. Like, if he breaks up, so what? Type thing. Um, and then, so he came and picked me up, and I was in a coat and winter boots, and then, like, my pajama pants, but they were kind of warmer. Um, and he was in a t-shirt and his light pajama pants, like the summer pajama pants, and then he had flip flops on. And we passed a sign on our way back out to the Manti Temple, which is where we were the morning before, or the evening before, and um, it said that it was 13 degrees and it was 11:30 at night. And while we were there, he took off the fake engagement ring that I had, and he's like, "How serious are you about serving a mission?" Because up until that point, I wanted to serve a mission, an LDS mission, that is. And let's see, he he said, or I told him that I was serious about serving it, but I wouldn't put off marriage for it. Like I wanted to be married, and not like if it was the right person type thing. And but I, like I said, he took off the engagement ring, and I wanted it back, but I didn't really put up with fuss about that. And then he gave me this fake plastic heart, and he said that like I had his heart forever, and I was thinking, well, I just want that ring back. And he then went outside and then started throwing snowballs. He didn't have a coat on; it was just a t-shirt, and he was throwing snowballs for like 2 or 3 minutes. It seemed like it went forever. But anyway, um, then he called me outside and he put a snowball in between our hands like this. And I was shivering. I was so cold. And he was cold. Like, I could see his body shaking too. And I just kept on kind of like trying to coax him into the car. I was like, come on, Nick, you're gonna get sick. I'm gonna get sick when you get into the car. And he wouldn't budge. Like, he's just like, nope, we're staying right here. And eventually the snowball melted that was in our hands, and in our hands was the wedding ring, or the engagement ring that we had. And then he proposed, and I was like, are you serious? That's so exciting. And yeah, so we dated for 7 days before we got engaged. Um, let's see. At the time, my parents were on a vacation to Mexico, and oh, just so you know, I'm not Hispanic or anything like that. I'm from Romania, and I was adopted when I was 1 and brought over here. My parents are white. They just like to travel, and that's why they were at Mexico. It wasn't like they were home in Mexico, which is a lot of, or a lot of people think that, but no, they were just visiting Mexico. And um, when they came back, we called them up and told them, and my mom was not happy about it. Um, but I don't really expect somebody to be happy that, like, she went on a vacation and came back. Like, she went on a vacation when I was single and came back to when I was engaged. So that could be kind of crazy for somebody to um, imagine, I guess. But Nick's parents were fine with it, or at least appeared to be fine with it. They're really cute and really supportive the whole time. And after basically a 6-month engagement, we got married, and I couldn't be happier. I love Nick so much. I can't imagine living my life without him. Um, he he's just like such a steady bit of support that I have, and like if I'm sad or upset, I could come home and vent or cry or anything, and he'll just listen and make me feel better. And by the end, we're both laughing, and um, like that's kind of how our arguments go too. Like if if we do argue, which it doesn't really happen a lot, but if we do argue, it lasts like 10 minutes at the very most, and then we end up like kissing and just being together. And um, I don't know, like he's really special like that. Not saying that I fight with people a lot, but uh, he makes it so we're not fighting. He's always making sure that I'm happy, and um, like if I have a weird craving, he's willing to go out to the store and get it, and it doesn't even matter if it's like midnight, he'll go. And that's really, really sweet of him. I don't know a lot of husbands who would do that. Yeah, there are just so many things I love about him, but we'll just stick to that stuff. Um, and let's see. I think that is it. But yeah, um, happy 6 months, babe. I love you, and I will see you soon. Bye.